Looks like we're just about to start.
Well, get hype, everybody, because here we go.
Excellent opening line.
This is a pretty great one. Well, if it is a bomb start, they'll get 15.
Oh, yeah, no, that's always a nice thing to find. And then, you know, of course, it'll end up being something entirely different. And the next time you play a bomb start, it'll be terrible. Is that a gopher on Ninban's screen? Or a hamster?
I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's not the default link, so points for that.
Always points for that. So an interesting point about Alucard. You got a hammer. Alucard is a keyboard player, as far as I remember.
That is correct. Oh well, no farm farming. Yeah, words. Bomb farming for either player today either.
No, word farming is not necessary. I mean, bomb farming is not necessary.
Might have to farm some words here. Get them working here. We'll get it.
Oh, chat's saying it's conquer.
Oh, okay.
That makes a lot of sense. Wow. They are pretty much in sync at this point.
Not even like a room apart, just perfect sync almost. Hammer makes it easy on these blue guards.
Yeah, hammer almost makes it too easy. Ninban stopping to take out some extra blue guards. It's not, you know, it's revenge for all those times you get like a burn, have to conserve magic, or you get those bombs, and if you screw up, you're stuck.
Yeah, just have to run by all those guys. No, not today. Ooh, early flippers.
Early flippers is pretty nice. That means you don't have to sequence break to get into the Waterfall Ferry or Zora.
You can full clear Zora in one fell swoop. If you have the money, of course.
Naturally. It does take out an easy Houlihan, which does, you know, make it a little harder to get that initial money, unless you have the gloves.
Houlihan's dead anyway, right?
Houlihan is dead.
We thought it was decreed that Houlihan was dead.
No, the only time you go visit Houlihan is to see the past winners of the ALTTP randomizer tournaments at this point. And we can just tell you that it's Ajneb. Always Ajneb.
That can change, maybe this time. Probably
It's true.
Not, though.
Well, we've got 7 rounds of Swiss. This is the opening day of round 3. We've got, you know, this week 4 more weeks before we decide our top 116 that are moving on to the bracket stage to join our 12 pre-qualifiers as a result of getting top 8 in the primary tournament from the fall or top 4 in the secondary tournament.
Yes, and then after that, it will move to best of 3 single elimination brackets.
Absolutely. So plenty of more rando. We got at least another 3 months of this. It's going to be great.
The hype train has no brakes. None at all.
Good. I never want to get off.
And this
Carcat's
completely synced up escape is still synced going into the sewers.
Both of them taking that heart too. Good strats. You never want to die.
Dying is suboptimal, as I've heard.
Absolutely. Ooh, Ninban got the better snake RNG. This is the earliest I think I've ever seen the opportunity to do the magic bat.
Yeah, it is unlocked right away for when you go to the village.
It's one. Would you remember even? Like I would probably forget by the time I get there because it's something so out of the ordinary.
Seeing it with the hammer, I would probably be. It's so out of the ordinary that I would not forget about it.
Well, we'll see if our runners do, and you know what sort of impact that might have. But for now, using those lovely bombs from the chest after Uncle.
Well, there's a glove, so we almost have Dark World.
We're just a moon pearl away. But
we're
more
just out of the
importantly,
escape.
More importantly, we can now do the houlihan again. So maybe the houlihan isn't dead.
Oh, you're 100% correct there. And with the 320 rupees, you know, they might get it right away. Who knows?
Ninban having a little trouble getting past the priest.
Oh, 3 normal crystals, it looked like.
That's always a nice thing to see in the light world. Those dungeons are pretty short. The item requirements to get in, pretty light. No pun intended. For once. Yeah, it's always a nice thing to see. Then you may end up with something like Turtle Rock as a pendant. Hopefully not the green one, but you're not in the hunt for the ice rod.
We could even get lucky and see Meyer and T-Rock as pendants and not even need the cane.
Oh, wow. That's so scary, though. The hoarder with all the bombs.
Just some money there in the tree.
Alucard just wanting to make 100% sure. So, we've got gloves, we've got flippers. That's Zora access 2 ways. We're missing a moon pearl for Dark World. Say we find it in Kakariko, and you know they have 4 hearts. Would you go into Dark World with 4 hearts?
100% yes.
And there's the 4th heart.
Especially with the hammer, because you can then clear Thieves Town. And you have the powder, you're golden. That's all you need. 4 hearts, powder, and a hammer. It's just going to be really scary. Now, I like to get to Dark World as early as possible in V29.
It makes sense. It's one of those things where it's definitely a comfort zone thing too. If you're not comfortable, there's a few places you can check. Possibly grab a few more hearts, maybe get lucky, find a mail upgrade. But on that last screen, we saw Ninban walking straight down through the guards and Alucard opting to jump into the bushes. I definitely do the jumping into the bushes for safety strat.
I also generally jump into the bushes.
Yep. It's better to hide. It's better to hide. A Link to the Past is actually a stealth game.
And there in the basement, we have some blue mail and a red boomerang and a mushroom.
Good.
Mushroom being, there with the powder. Both fetch quests very early, both able to turn in.
It's actually not that bad, though. And like normally, mushroom's not a great thing to see early because it's quite a long walk. But with the flippers, putting all that Zora area and logic, just go do Zora, walk down, turn in the mushroom. Reasonable play.
Yep, you could even warp to the mushroom shop from Link's house, and then walk up to Zora with the gloves. Hey, and a sword from the Bottleman.
That's one of the best buys that you can get in this game. They now have, the ability to do Aghanim's Tower.
Well, almost.
Well, almost. Yes, of course.
Still need some kind of light source and maybe another sword.
Those are minor details. We'll find them. Zora's got all that. But yeah, for now, they're getting set up pretty good. These initial checks going pretty well.
The Ninban is coming straight over. Pulling out the powder before the hammer. Got the bat on the brain.
Same with Alucard. It's a good time to check. There's no real good time otherwise. You know, until you're doing the whole Smith chain with a mirror. But who knows when that's coming.
Yeah, that could be a long time. Nothing great today, but good to get it just knocked out.
Yep. I don't know, to be fair, think of all the bomb strats you can do. You'll be able to hold enough bombs to bomb blind.
Oh. And, you know, bombs are free. Just go find a quarter crab.
Where does the crab store all those bombs?
That's a very, very good question.
We won't dwell on that. We did see only a heart piece on the library.
And that's the fire rod.
This is one of those situations where, I don't know, do you jump down and check, or do you go right through the maze game at this point?
I always go through the house unless if I have less than 4 bombs. If I have 3 or less, then I will go check first.
That's fair. I am of the same opinion. It is super frustrating when you're like, I could have just gone through. And it's like, I timed it. It's like a 7-second time difference to just actually get to the point where you can see it. Maybe
And
8.
it's only a bomb.
Yeah, no big deal. Even better if you have boots.
Alright, so now both runners coming down to check the dam. Pretty standard opening. Continued.
The classic, it's, you know. Alucard really didn't like that enemy whose name I forget at the moment. Clifford, what's that enemy called?
The Octorok?
That's the one. Trying to push the Octorok into the rock. Checking the stun prize. That makes more sense. It's a good stun prize. 10 arrows isn't bad at all, actually. Especially in, like, you know, going to mimic caves and stuff like that.
Full heart for Ninban here. Definitely wants to get that early. Some more defense is always welcome.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got Zelda in chat saying, you know, blind check the race if there's no progression leading me at someone anywhere else. It's a good way to do it. There's many, you know, different opinions on it. And it's such an insignificant time save. It's not insignificant, but, you know, relative to everything else you can do, it's one of those, like, personal preference things, I feel.
Oh, and there's the Moon Pearl.
Ooh.
So we have Dark World at 14 minutes.
Dark World, wow. Looks like
Ninban.
Ninban's, yeah, gonna go straight in.
Alucard gonna keep going. Looks like make use of the flippers.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of checks, I guess, at this point that you can do.
Yeah, the world is wide open now.
Yeah. So, I mean, right off the bat, we've got that open start, potentially, you know, diverging until the very end.
Here it goes. Starting with the Hype Cave check versus the Hobo.
heart piece, blue rupees, red rupees. Ooh.
Swing and a miss.
For both, it looks like.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you still like some of the early heart pieces, but would have hoped for some more progression there in the hype cave.
No, it's a reasonable play too from Ninban. It's one of those with all of the rest of the places like Ice Rock Cave and that to check. You kind of hope your opponent doesn't go to hype cave so you can get an early advantage. I mean, it has since become less hype than it was when it originally earned its name, but it's gotten better since B26 and stuff like that.
And when it's good, it's really good.
When it's good, it's really good. The sometimes hype cave.
Alucard now checking my least favorite item location on the entire map. And just some bombs.
Yeah, but 22 bombs. That's like enough for the rest of the game.
Just about. And Pod, Mire, and Skullwoods are our pendants. And 5 and 6 Thieves Town and Turtle Rock.
Well, that's actually kind of disappointing.
So much for the no cane seed.
No, and it's one of those where I think the only item, it saves really is the flute. You don't need the flute in this seed, but otherwise you need the ice rod. You don't get away with no cane. You possibly need the boots. We haven't made it to desert yet.
And Alucard found a blue potion in the waterfall, so that might lead him over to Sick Kid here.
Very well could. Sick Kid into the Dark World. But looks to be checking Hype Cave.
With the hammer and the gloves, I would always like to check Hype Cave first. It's so much faster of a check than going the long way around into Village of Outcasts.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And do you go bottom route into Stump Kid or Stumpy?
With the hammer, I try to go Pyramid Catfish.
Okay. Doesn't look like Ninban's having a ton of luck in Skullwoods.
Oh, so far the only thing I've seen was arrow upgrades.
I think so.
Nothing good there. Gonna come out and check Bumper Cave.
It's a good piece of information to have.
Yeah, just a heart container, not needed.
Yeah, Alucard getting their map check in. So Ninban decided they didn't want to deal with, the back of Skullwoods right now, even though they have the items to totally clear it.
With it being blue pendant, it's a really low value play this early on, I think.
It's true. And Skullwoods is not the Skullwoods of the past versions. It used to be like incredibly likely that there was a progression item there. I think it was something like in the 40% range. But it is, well, confirmation bias for sure, but definitely decreased in its viability.
Well, we don't need it, but there it is. The flute on the pyramid. Now that just means something's going to be required down in the Mire area.
Or it's we're never going to find book, and that's our entrance to desert. But it does save kind of a walk around for Alucard. They'll go up and, check catfish and all that, and then go activate the flute and probably go into the same area, Thieves Town area.
Can he check the mushroom really easily with the flute also?
That's true. Maybe once Alucard gets enough money to actually go back and check Zora.
Ninban found a bottle himself there in Thieves Town, so now both runners have Sick Kid unlocked.
Did you almost call it Skull Kid?
Wrong game completely.
Ooh. Just 50 rupees. Long walk for 50 rupees. Someone asking in chat, why can't both players get a win? You know, we'd like to see that, but they can get a tie. We've had one this tournament so far, to my knowledge.
Yeah, so far only one. Yep, Alu immediately coming to activate the flute. Get that fast travel.
As you said, powder comes in handy. Thieves Town is easy when you have the powder.
It's certainly a lot easier.
Skull Kid, or yeah, Skull Kid, not really paying off.
No, not today. Just some sticks.
Pointy sticks. Let's see how this 10-arrow lead will play into Alucard's strategy.
I'm sure he's obsessing over that count as we speak.
Totally. You know, nothing with runners of this consistency, nothing, you know, crazy happening on as they progress through Thieves Town. See if Alucard makes the play through Skullwoods to get that second item. But
we will find out shortly. Another nice use of that powder.
So what else can we do? We can do pod check. Can get up to Death Mountain now that there's a flute.
Can't really do a whole lot up there, but it does unlock 2 items. Well, 1.5 items.
Yes, that's correct. 1 item, 1 sequence break, and some knowledge. Yeah, because Spike Cave isn't in the logic yet, but they can do it. They have, you know, the items. Maybe a potion could save them. It would be risky.
Sahasrara's house and Eastern Palace are still open.
That's true. No one's gone into Eastern yet.
See this blind fight. Nice, easy first phase.
Wow.
Almost perfect.
Almost perfect. And as Ninban finishes up the blind fight for that map, and first crystal at 24 minutes in, Alucard does indeed go to the back of Skullwoods in search of that second item.
Right now, Ninban heading here into the south part of Village of Outcasts. Another heart.
Yeah, that's a pretty healthy seed so far.
Yeah, between the hearts and the blue mail, runners should both be feeling pretty great.
I would be. So go check dig game. We need some sort of, I guess, progression at this point. What do you think it's going to be?
Next progression is going to be something to help along Death Mountain. So probably the hook shot.
Okay. Not the mirror?
It could be the mirror.
You know, I'm okay with either. The dig game, totally randomized on how many digs you have to do between 1 and 30. We got someone in chat asking if this is grand finals. No, this is our third week of the ALTTPR spring tournament. The Swiss stage, which is basically players that are of a similar record, will be facing off against each other. They're both 2-0 in this situation. We got 7 rounds of that until we go on to the bracket stages. The top 128 people in the brackets.
Although I see how you could be confused with both of these runners here. It could easily be a grand finals match.
Oh, absolutely.
So now Ninban going swimming.
We will probably get one more check at a Ninban than we got with Alucard, which is that Zora.
Oh yeah, with plenty of money, that should be no issue.
Oh yeah, and if that's a big item, then that's probably going to be somewhere Alucard does not check for a while at this point.
You know,
Too
we
many
have a
other
fight
things.
with Moth here. Spamming Fire Rod.
Not sticking too far up, though, to be defeated easily.
We go ahead and use that blue potion.
I would.
Might as well. That's what you have it for, right?
The single slash.
And an ether medallion and a blue pendant. That could be very, very useful. Could be needed to open either one of Meyer or T-Rock. And with the flute already, you know, we're one step closer to just having to go into that pendant Meyer for some reason.
Absolutely. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that like Zora, this is probably one of those things that, if necessary, won't be checked for quite a long time. I imagine we'll get a whole bunch of progression first. You need, you know, another pair of gloves, and to get into Turtle Rock. So, you know, until you can get to that point, so much else you need to find first.
Oh, there's the bug net at Zora.
Oh, good,
So,
good.
not progression, but now we can use some swag for later in the run.
You know, I do expect both of these runners to rely heavily on fairies. And by that I mean I don't. But the bug net will help with that. You know, just in case they see one in the wild. One of the...
With powder, they can just make it themselves.
It's like a home, make your own fairy kit.
Ninban without the flute is just gonna walk over here and turn in.
Quite the trek too. You know, it's hard to remember that warp point.
It's such an obscure warp. I don't ever hardly use it. Just some bombs.
Little disappointing. But that does leave Ninban with very few options at this point.
Yeah, they're all on the east side of the map too, it looks like. Just light or dark world, take your pick. Looks like we're gonna see light world.
Yep, Ninban made a pick. It's actually probably the smarter play at this point, because you can always do the light world stuff, and since you don't have the mirror, you know, then go down and grab the portal. So not expecting to find anything, it's the more efficient play.
Most definitely.
Ooh. Getting a little too close to that bomb.
Well, there's our bomb starter.
So while we got some walking around, if anyone here has never played Randomizer, there's a link now in chat. vt.alttp.run. All the information you need to get started is on there. There's a link to the past Discord that I will figure out how to get a link to. Oh, there we go. It just posted in chat as I said that. Well done. You know, come on in, join, ask questions. People are very happy to help out. It's a very friendly community. Yeah, it's a good time.
Absolutely wonderful community.
Just a compass.
Sad compass.
Sad compass.
But hey, now we know where the boss is, so that's useful.
It's
right?
good. Yeah. I guess to go with that, you know, statement of welcoming people to join the community, we should probably give a little bit of an explanation on what Randomizer is in case people have stumbled across this channel. A link to the past Randomizer takes a link to the past game that you probably know and love, and with logic to make sure that it is beatable every time. Mixes up the items, mixes up the crystals, in order to give you a whole new logic puzzle every time you play.
Literally new Zelda every time. It's amazing.
Endless hours of fun and frustration. Find a fairy in a bottle.
Don't even have to use the net or the powder or any of that. Just pre-packaged. And there's that mirror we were talking about.
There's that mirror.
So there's the Death Mountain progression.
Absolutely. You know, Eastern Palace is normally the first dungeon in the game, but without the bow, a lot of runners tend to avoid it, so they can kind of try and come through it, you know, all at once, beat the dungeon, go into the Dark World, beat Pod, all at that same time. So...
probably not going to be the case today. The double dip is probably going to be required if I...
Yeah, and it's one of those dungeons too where you're not needing anything to get in. Oh wow. We got a master sword.
No. We're getting closer to that agate plate that we don't need to do unless we really want those rupees.
Oh yeah, I guess at this point agate's totally out.
Now Alucard into the blind fight.
Alucard's got this. He's a pro. Hiding inside blind shirt. Ninban's making a pretty interesting play, going up to Death Mountain in the dark.
With the fire rod, I really like it.
That's fair. And, you know, a sword to kind of help you guide your way. You can kind of see the world moving around you when you have a sword. Leave it out in that trail of sparkles, kind of tells you which way you're going. And if it doesn't move at all, you're stuck against a wall. And if it disappears, you fell into a hole. Or killed an enemy, I guess.
Usually it's because I fell into a hole. But yeah, without the flute, having to do the dark room. So if he finds the lamp up here, then he'll know the flute is out there somewhere available.
It's true. There are a lot of little. They're called sequence breaks that you can do. Through minor glitches, through just being able to do things the game didn't really intend for you to do unless you knew it really well. Stuff like going through dark rooms so you don't need a lamp. Or fake flippers, which we didn't have to see. But the logic for this game does not require any of those. It makes sure you have to do no glitches to get from the beginning of the game to the end boss, and at the same time, you're able to get every item on the way. You're gonna have to double dip dungeons, go to certain areas twice, but you can get everything.
Yep, dude, everything is clearable. Some keys might not be, but those are just keys. Who cares about that?
Exactly.
So the really big key there in Hera for Ninban.
So is
Alucard also gonna sequence break the old man.
But from the, I guess, exit to that cave?
Yeah, from the mountainside.
It's unfortunate though, because Alucard is going up here without the mirror. So they won't be able to do anything aside from, the checks. So
it will unlock the save and quit point, which with the flute is not super advantageous. Nice bomb jump from Ninban.
oh yeah, that was great. I'll be honest, I can't do bomb jumps without using Link's ears or his hat as a guide. So I can't play with any of the fancier sprites. There are a ton too.
Like 80 something now.
80 something.
More coming.
They range from Pokemon like Pikachu and Squirtle to, Samus, both Zero Suit and in the suit, to, like Mario. And then all different types of Link. There's Nature Link, which is Link wearing a leaf.
Oh, Ninban getting knocked down.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. There are two types of Sprite.
There are?
Yeah, there's the can of Sprite.
There's a mouse cursor.
There is a mouse cursor.
It's amazing.
That mirror was in Eastern Palace.
Eastern Palace Big Chest.
Yes.
Alucard doing the Spike Cave.
It's got that red potion. Cutting it really close.
Ninban getting the compass there means the basement has an item.
So Ninban will be able to take a little break. Alucard, unfortunately, finding nothing amazing.
Just a red rupee for the troubles.
Yes. It does, the mountain save point does get you the fastest flute access. And you get full hearts too, which is lovely.
That does help. Especially without the boots.
Ninban is very proud of that pot. Hey everyone, look what I got! No, you can't have it.
I'm sure one of these tiles is going to get it.
I hope so. It's been flaunting it for too long. Well done, Ninban. Well done. Alucard, no doubt disappointed by Sahasrahla.
Gonna head straight over into Eastern though. That'll be good. Find that mirror quickly.
I mean, aside from... So Alucard is the flute. and the Ether Medallion. Ninban has the mirror, though Alucard will have that soon.
And the Master Sword, which is also in this dungeon.
Absolutely. They're pretty close. They both have, well, Ninban has 2 crystals. Alucard has 2 dungeons done.
And if either's required, one of them's the Mothula is definitely required. We will find out.
So let's play that favorite game, what can be on the pedestal? Medallions as always, unless Turtle Rock and Misery Mire are the same. The Ice Rod.
Boing, boing, boing.
The Hook Shot, definitely. The Book. I guess the
About
boots.
Yeah, the boots, possibly.
Yeah, so still...
Nope. Never mind about boing, boing.
And if Ninban finds the glove upgrade here, that would be very excellent accidental routing. And I say accidental with, nothing against Ninban, but it's rando. You get what you're given.
Now with the hook shot. Straight to Swamp Palace.
It is 6 items. It's a pretty good check.
That's what it looks like. Straight to Swamp Palace.
Chad is asking if I can be on pedestal. Probably not. I am required by one of the pendant dungeons.
You gotta have Felix to complete Misery Mire. Because Misery loves company. Or something.
Thanks, Clifford.
Alucard now about to get the Master Sword.
Not needing to do the save and quit, though.
Now the flute can go right back up to the mountain.
Whenever you see a runner doing that, Alucard was pulling on that wall in frustration. Probably annoyed that they came up Death Mountain and did the checks without the mirror when it was in a very accessible place from the beginning of the game.
I hate having to climb the mountain. I hate it.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not even fun with boots.
Just takes forever.
Yep.
Oh, first item, 5 arrow upgrade.
So there are kind of two schools of thought in Swamp Palace. The left side of Swamp Palace, which is where normally the big key is, takes a long time to get through. Ooh. Blocked by the dead rock. Some people skip it. Some people go for it. When you're doing a full clear, just full clear so you don't have to come back in. What is your opinion on it, Clifford?
My strategy is completely broken now. I can't do it anymore. I would flood the left side, then go to the back, and then come back if I needed to. Now, with the changes they've made, if you beat the boss after flooding the dungeon, it unfloods the key to make it easier for you to get a flooded key back.
Right.
So my whole strategy is just gone now.
Yeah, it's when you leave the dungeon, the room where it's flooded unfloods.
Used to be you would have to make an entire screen transition away from the dungeon to make that happen.
Yeah, and then you'd have to redrain the dam in the light world, then go back to the dark world. It's better, but I mean, it breaks your strategy. mine personally, so Ninban's found 2 items at this point. For me, that means, okay, go to the back. We haven't found Big Key. Go to the back, see what you can find. Hopefully you find the Big Key on the way there so you don't have to double back in. And then if you don't get, if you get the map or the compass, come back and check the left side after. And maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe.
Looks like the man's gonna go check the left side.
It's the joy of rando. So many different strategies. Someone asked me in chat if you couldn't push the lever back to reflood the area. I think that's just not a thing you can do in the game.
Moldworm, knock it down Alucard.
So that's 1 for each runner so far, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I maybe they could make it so you could unflood the key, but I think part of it too is the punishment of flooding the key. Ooh.
Well, there's an item, 1 for Ninban, and a nice Moldworm kill. 2nd try for Alucard.
Absolutely. Enraged him though.
Yeah. That's no problem.
Yeah, so left side not paying off. There was 1 item, so it means it wasn't a total waste of time as, the sanity check was there, but...
Better to know than to always wonder. Especially this early in the seed.
Yeah, there's so chat's talking about, flooding the key. It's definitely something most runners have done at some point. But it is one of those things where you only do it once or twice and then you never forget.
No, something happens to you and then you don't forget for a year or so, and then it happens again and oops.
Ooh. So that was an interesting. Yeah, I was gonna say that's an interesting way to route it. I don't think I've ever kind of done it that way, where you go up and check that chest. I guess Ninban's looking for the big key because there's a way up.
Yeah, if the big key is there, then you come check these 2 also, and there's the Titansmiths and the big key both.
Looks like Swamp was the right place so far.
Yeah, that seems correct.
Ninban getting stuck on the stairs.
Yeah, without the boots, it's you're gonna get stuck on that staircase. Oh, well, the Tempered Sword is another great item to find. Swamp Palace paying out huge.
So we've got the Tempered Sword and the glove so far. Yeah, we still have 1 item left. No items left. No items. Just the map. That's pretty good, though. That's good for a swamp.
Yeah, I mean, going from Master Sword to Tempered Sword is the biggest power upgrade jump in the game, except for maybe the bow to the silver arrows, but the sword's much better on everything, where the bow only has limited application.
It's true.
Quote unquote limited.
It does help you deal with those pesky mummies, though.
Yeah, and kills most of the bosses just instantly.
Alucard getting their hook shot. Ninban. Wow, actually, the Tempered Sword, this is one of those places where that upgrade is very significant. It's a single swipe versus 2 swipe on each of these little puffs.
Yes, just melting Argus puffs. Our guy.
I don't know. I don't think Argus is really my friend. I mean, if you want to call him your guy, that's cool.
I mean, I guess a little bit.
Kind of a floating tentacle monster. What is it? Is it a squid?
It's a eyeball monster.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Pirate eyeball monster. Got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, is it in the same like family of eyeball monster as Vitreous then?
I think they're like third cousins.
Oh, okay, cool. That makes sense. You know, family tends to help family. Argus is like, hey, like I need a job, and Vitreous is like, cool, I'll get you a gig at Swamp Palace. I know the guy. You know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because the swamp and a mire are kind of the same thing.
Except swamp doesn't look very swampy. It's all blue water in there, all clear. Like I don't know. Alucard getting just the heart container check there at K45. While Ninban's going straight into Ice Palace.
Wow. It's a gutsy play. But they do have everything to complete it at this point.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a trek to do a full clear here in Ice, but you know, it's right there. Quick to walk straight over to. Might as well.
Ooh, taking out those penguin, duck, shark, monster things pretty quickly.
I'm just showing the power of that tempered sword. Now Alucard heading into Swamp Palace. Gonna get the value out of there.
So I guess Alucard's trailing behind a little. You know, Ninban's ahead in crystal count. But again, that flute could be the difference.
Or the Ether Medallion. Both
Or the Ether Medallion.
kind of awkward, out of the way locations at this point.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's nothing bringing Ninban back to Skullwoods at this point. And I mean, the pyramid's less out of the way when you go check pod or something like that. But
still, with current items, if I'm Ninban, I'm probably going straight up Death Mountain again after this to check the dark side. And then we'll know.
It's true. No dip into pod first to look for a cane or something like that.
No, I want to know what the medallion is every time. I want the information play, and there's all those items up there. You have the hook shot. That's what, 6 items, easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy. Gotta agree with you there, man.
As much as I hate climbing the mountain, I'd like to get the things up there. Oh, there's a kind of a convenient big key for Ninban. And a nicely executed bomb jump.
Here's a big key. No, I don't want it yet. It's fine. I'll go check the other stuff first. This can be one of the most frustrating dungeons to route.
It really can. So Alucard getting that key. Gonna be checking the left side also quickly, it looks like.
No flooded keys today. You know, it's good. Nobody wants to see a flag key. That's just something that pains everyone watching.
You see that? That water is so clear and blue. That's not swamp water. They call it swamp, but like it's not murky or anything.
Maybe it's like swamp water in the same way that like when you were a kid and you went to a fountain soda machine, you like mixed all the sodas. That was swamp water. I don't know.
Well, then he's gonna be sticky, swimming and all that.
So, you know, nothing particularly amazing and nice so far. Chat saying, now we know why sick kid is sick.
There you go. And then he turns into the Skull Kid later. It's all, we all know how the progression goes. Oh, Ninban not getting the bomb jump second try with the key this time. Gonna have to go the long way around, maybe.
Do we find all 3 items? In ice?
I at least saw 2.
We have 1 key. Missing a map. I think so. Or, you know, maybe I'll be proven wrong right after this.
And that's a nice, quick, cold steer fight. Got out of the corner a little bit, but...
So we did see all the items. The only item remaining in ice is a map. The Alu gets the gloves and the big key, and opting to go grab the tempered sword.
That's probably a smart play, getting that tempered sword.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, Alucard having no idea that it's the tempered and getting stuck on the stairs again.
That staircase will get you every time. At least the first time. So yeah, now Ninban straight to Death Mountain.
You called it.
There's just so much value up there.
It is a pretty quick check. And again, information is always valuable in Randomizer.
With T-Rock being the crystal that it is, you want to know what you need to get in there.
Yeah. You know, chat mentioning that whether Alucard's going to go back up to Death Mountain or check the Mire Desert area at this point.
Ooh, that's another good play with that flute.
Absolutely. Again,
oh, there's the bow. Bow for Ninban.
Bow for Ninban. So we could be, you know, that item away, like different items away from go mode at this point. We're looking for the cane. We're looking for the ice rod. We're about to find out.
And it's the Quake medallion.
Ninban is, for the moment, saved. For the moment. Still haven't found Quake. But, you know, at least it's not in the back of Skullwoods. So yeah, we're getting, you know, the openness, potential openness and divergence. So I guess it depends on what Alucard does next. It's another one of those pieces where going to desert could be a whole bunch of useful information.
And the lamp also for Ninban. So that's a nice find. Will speed up his pod play significantly. Not having to do dark rooms is always a little bit faster, especially that turtle room.
Oh yeah, the turtle room, and then if they have to go in Mire, that one where you gotta hit the switch with the cane block. That one sucks.
That one is not fun, no. So it's a lot easier than I thought it was, but it's still not a whole lot of fun.
No. It's one of those, if you start missing it, it's just bad.
Alucard coming straight up to the mountain, forgoing Ice Palace.
Which, at this point, is kind of the right play.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we know this. Again, Alucard has no idea, but any time you can go mode Ice Palace, it's way faster. It took Ninban, several minutes. Somewhere like 10 minutes to clear Ice Palace, right?
I'm not sure what a full clear actually takes, but it's much faster to just hit that bomb jump and go walk down and kill Cold Stare. Be done.
Yeah,
with it.
It's minutes faster.
There's Alucard's bow.
So finally, with the bow in hand, Ninban's making their way over to Eastern Palace and Pod. Probably wondering where the flute is, because now that they found the lamp on East Death Mountain, they know there has to be a flute somewhere.
Yes, the flute has to be available, because technically this whole thing was sequence broken.
Yes.
Alucard perfectly within sequence. So this lamp is perfectly fine.
Yeah, no unanswered questions in Alucard's mind at the moment, except where are my remaining items? But that's standard in every seed. The biggest question always, of course, where is the boots and when will I get them?
That is always the question on my mind. Where are those boots at? Alucard buying some potions. Got plenty of money. Some empty bottles. Might as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're there already to turn in the mushroom, looks like Alucard just remembered. Might as well at this point. You've got the cash to spare. It's not like it costs a ton of time. And a death is always significantly worse than, buying potions.
Ninban went into Pod. Thought better of it. Gonna go do Eastern first.
Crystals first.
That's a good, mantra to have. Now Alucard coming up to do Zora.
Ooh.
Finish off that line of play.
Yeah, we know it's not going to pay off well, and I guess this is Alucard's third time up here? Because they did Catfish, right?
Yes.
So, third time up here.
So Ninban just quickly running through Eastern, having done everything else already. It's just a quick run back to the Armos Knights. Doesn't even have to worry about those silvers. Just slash them with the Tempered Sword, and that green Igor goes down. Alucard activates swag mode. And those silver arrows really just tear things apart. You'll see these Armos Knights go down very quickly. One arrow each, gets the map, gets the crystal, and Alucard's going into Ice Palace.
Not a bad play. I mean, it's got to get done. I think we were hoping.
Look at Alu's rupees.
Lucky numbers 777. Ninban going into Pod. So Ninban is kind of stuck otherwise without the flute at this point. There's no way into desert. Can't get into Turtle Rock without the cane
Or the Quake.
or the Quake. That's very important too. So as far as dungeon goes, this is all Ninban has left. And at this point, it's the most item-dense area they have access to.
Yep, 5 items compared to the 6 keys in this dungeon.
So many keys. An insane amount of keys. It's just pure key sanity.
Almost. Almost.
Almost got you with that one.
Now Alucard coming into the bomb jump room.
Nice bomb.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, nice and easy, no problem. And on the other side, we got Ninban taking out Mimics with the Silvers. Nice and easy, no problem. Just no problems all around it. It's just a stroll through some dungeons. Just another day in Zelda Land. Which
More
is
keys.
called Hyrule,
Oh.
I know.
Well, there you go. There's that red key.
Good play then. Very good play.
Hiding in Pendant Pod.
Pendant Pod is not a fun place anymore. I don't know that it was ever a fun place, but it's especially not a fun place now.
Ever since the logic changed to it, all the value that was in Skullwoods has been come to Pod. Alucard getting those 50 rupees from the big chest.
We got a little baited there by Ninban. They were setting up for the hammer jump, changed the bombs, realized they didn't have a big key.
Kind of helps to have the big key when they're trying to open the big chest. Just a little bit.
Is that what I've been doing wrong all this time?
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
That would explain it. That's why you're not getting the blue mail in your NMG runs.
Oh,
Oh, in the book. So that unlocks desert for Ninban.
so Ninban might be thinking, oh, I don't even need the flute. And they might not.
It's a possibility.
The only things that could be left are, as far as progression goes, is boots. We'll find out in desert. We need that. And once again, Ganon's Tower if we don't find it by then. And Ice Rod. And Quake. We're still looking for Quake.
Quake and the Ice Rod, they can both be just about anywhere.
Yes. The joy of a medallion and the Ice Rod.
And the save and quit from Ninban.
It's a dangerous play.
Decisions.
I guess with the book, it's an opportunity to go, double check that pedestal.
Ninban using the quick warp with the mirror there. And might as well check the pedestal if you're going over here.
So what's Ninban's next play?
I have no idea.
Desert is accessible.
Maybe Skullwoods with more gear to get that other item?
Very likely. Especially going into Dark World here. Or it could be the...
They can mirror out straight to the pedestal after.
Absolutely. Or maybe even before, That way if they find the item beforehand. We know where it is, of course. But Ninban doesn't.
Now Alucard about to go in here to the cold stair fight.
Should be a clean fight. A little bit low on health, but that blue mail always helps out.
And has what, 2 blue potions?
Yeah, a ton, and a fairy, I think, still. I forget where that fairy bottle was.
It was. Oh man, somewhere. It was in the game. We found it.
Oh, of course. Good.
Was it in
Good.
Eastern?
Yes, I think so. Just above the
The
Stalfos.
Stalfoses, yep.
Yeah.
It was quickly overshadowed by the mirror.
Yes. Very quickly. And the Master Sword, too. You know, as chat is calling out for pedestal checks, Ninban, of course, has other plans.
I'm sure we'll see it right after the moth.
Oh, yeah, totally. But, you know,
Then
half the
we'll-
fun is the wait. The anticipation is what makes it so exciting.
Yeah, really, it is. Builds up that hype.
We are all about hype on ALTTPR.
And now Alucard making that play over to Meyer. Not even looking to see. A very nice Mothula fight from Ninban. Oh, and that was the ice rod for Alucard.
Oh, wow.
In the Meyer shed.
Wow. So, you know, likely totally missed which medallion Meyer was.
Alucard didn't check. He walked right by.
Thanks, Alucard. You're really helping us commentators out. You know that?
And Ninban just no. Y'all don't need to see it.
No pedestal. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna be blind. So at this point, we are looking for Quake. And that's it. Maybe the boots.
We'll find out very quickly.
Yes, we will. Or not. We might still need to wait another, 10 to 15 minutes. If they don't have boots. If they don't have boots, and it ends up on Ganon's Tower. Well,
we don't need them for desert.
Don't need them for desert. That's exciting. But now we get to, wait and see if it's on the last chest in Laser Bridge or, on Vitreous. Because Randomizer can be a cruel mistress.
It can. There's the big key for desert.
That does, I guess it does bring up a good point, though. Ninban needs to find the flute.
Yes, that does make the flute required.
Yeah, there is no way for Ninban to beat this game without the flute. So, that logic of, I made it up to Death Mountain. The only thing I needed the flute for was the lamp. Starts to kind of go out the window.
And there's an item on Landmo, it appears.
Ooh, fetch quest.
Use that hammer to find yourself a shovel.
Yep. So we got Alucard going to the back of desert. Alucard's gonna get their 5th crystal. Ninban with 5 crystals currently. Hunts down that flute, the ice rod, Quake. Still looking for boots. you know, you're always on the lookout for boots, even if you don't need it. But it's gonna be interesting. We'll see. Like this routing could take Ninban up to the pyramid and maybe to, you know, the graveyard ledge.
Yeah, or up to Catfish if he still needs to get up that way also.
Still needs to check Catfish. I mean, that whole area. Ninban's out of dungeons. Which I guess it's even more surprising.
You can do desert with the book.
Can do desert with the book. You're right. But I guess it's even more surprising that Ninban didn't check the pedestal with the book, still needing, you know, items that can be anywhere.
Alucard making quick work of the land molus with the tempered sword spins, just easy work. Nothing good there except for the crystal though.
Crystals are always good. The chest just wants to be taken somewhere nice. Ooh. Ninban getting the hurt in the...
And it's Heather for Meyer.
Ooh.
So the moth was required. Maybe. Probably.
Well, maybe. We'll see what's in Meyer. If Quake's in there, 100%. But Ninban at this point has Ether, so at least they won't get caught by that trap.
Nope. Just looking for the flute to get there.
Yes.
Yeah, and Alucard will not be able to finish Meyer because we know that the cane is in pod. Red rupee for the purple chest.
It's a good time, though, to check. Oh, so I guess this will lead Ninban into the desert, most likely. You know, check Bombo's tablet.
Bombo straight into desert. That seems like a very reasonable play to me. There's the big key on the bridge for Alu.
Godmire, king of the swamps. Boggs?
So, with the mirror, do you go straight to Vitreous here and then come back in for items?
I mean, Alucard can't.
Oh, I guess you're right. He can't. Yeah, you need the cane for that. Disregard.
I would probably go back and at least check the kind of the chest above where Alucard is right now, the big chest and the small chest past it.
Just the right hand side stuff.
Yeah, do the right hand side stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah. It's a long wait for that vanilla big key chest.
It really is. So now two runners, two different ways of entering the desert. But they'll both be able to finish it.
Totally. So Ninban will be ahead in crystals, and behind him, some items. Alucard is kind of locked into the Pod Eastern Palace play next. Some overworld on the way, possibly. But, you know, wherever Quake ends up being is going to basically decide this route, or this game.
And a heart piece in the big key chest. Not quite what Alucard was looking for.
No. So I missed it. Is that both items now in Meyer?
No, I think there's still one more.
Okay. That's what I thought. Otherwise, it would likely leave.
Yeah, it would be the play to mirror out if there was.
Both our runners just casually strolling along.
Opening big chests.
Ooh. So that is the last item on Vitreous, isn't it?
Did Alu go back and check the center chest room, the lobby chest?
I believe so. Oh.
Okay.
No, chat's saying Aleph forgot that middle chest room.
Oh no.
Yeah, it could be bad. Could be bad. It looks like Ali was going to do a bit of the overworld, which makes sense. You know, take that chest over, do
Take the
some
blacksmith
stuff.
home. Yeah.
Yeah, or check the graveyard edge on the way to pod.
Lots of overworld stuff to go clear up.
Totally.
And overworld is, you know, a pretty good play in this version of the randomizer. We just know today it's not the correct play.
Right.
I mean, it might still be the correct play. It's just not going to pay off. If that.
Yeah, there's the correct play, which is the one that works out, and there's the smart play, I guess. So the smart play being the one that's like most likely going to work out, and then the correct play is the one that does work out in randomizer, which is different from seed to seed.
Yes. That's why it's at the end of the day, everything's still random. So. So now Ninban into the Landmolus fight with the silver arrows. Just one arrow each. Gets some more arrow capacity for his troubles. And a nice crystal.
Just one crystal away. One man, one crystal. One rod. One medallion. Lots of ones.
One flute.
One flute.
One trip to the pyramid away from finding a flute.
One more of these, and I think we can stop.
Oh, all right, I think we're fine.
Yeah, no, we've killed that joke. It's dead.
Better than those Landmolus.
Yes. No, those died fast.
So we are going to be getting the pyramid play from Ninban and the graveyard play from Alucard.
I don't think Alu ever checked the bumper cave though.
He checked it early on.
Did he? I thought that was Ninban. But,
They both did.
Okay. Sometimes things blend together.
He checked it right after Skullwoods.
Ah, okay. Smart play. Smart man.
More quiver capacities.
Not taking it. That's a bold move. It's a bold move. Ooh.
And there's the flute for Ninban.
Oh, Ninman's about to go check.
I'll go in to check Catfish, yeah.
Catfish and probably Graveyard Ledge on the walk back. But
Alucard going to the shovel spot.
That chest has been all around Hyrule. But without the boots, it doesn't really make a difference.
Not too much. Alucard trying to change back to the flute, but the animation was still going on. You can't change off of the shovel while you're still digging with the shovel. It happens to me every time in that
Every
spot.
time. It's actually better when you don't have the flute first, when you're trying to dig.
Now the play to 5.
Play to 5. Ninban doesn't want the money, though.
Or Oh,
Oh,
Alu forgot Agnes Cave.
yeah.
Play back over to Agnes Cave.
Now that's one of those like, it's not too long of a play when you have the flute, but it's still out of the way at this point. And sometimes what you need to do when you're playing randomizer is just go, oh, I forgot something. Cool, that place doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes.
Yes.
Ninban activating the flute at 125.20. Gonna be feeling way behind with just knowing that it's been sitting there on the pyramid the whole time.
Yeah. It's always super frustrating when something is hidden in plain sight.
Alright, now Alucard making the 5 play.
I'm expecting him to take out his mirror, flute back somewhere else. Ninban never went back to the Ice Rock Cave, did they?
I don't think so.
And we know that isn't necessarily like a bad move. But
I like to pretend like the Ice Rock Cave doesn't exist all the time.
it doesn't exist until it does, right?
And there's the Ice Rod for Ninban.
Ice Rod for Ninban. Got a shot at full clearing Mire. What would you do? Desert first here? See if you can find your
He's already done Desert.
You're right. I'm terribly forgetful, apparently.
That's fine. It's all
Um,
weird going in Desert with the book, and you hardly ever see that these days.
Yeah. Exactly. Plus, we haven't had a pedestal check. I figured we would have had at least one pedestal check by now. I've had the book for this long.
Ninban just ignoring Meyer completely to remember that the Ice Rod Cave exists.
It's pretty funny. Both of those, like, oh god, what if it's in here? That's the thought. That's always the thought. It's always, oh no, but what if I'm gonna waste so much time.
And they're the two ones, the Agonis Cave on one side and Ice Rod Cave on the other. The two worst checks in the whole game. Oh man. I love Randomizer.
It's so good. And you always see the kind of similar things, like similar worries between every runner. It's, oh, I know that I should probably do this, but what if it's this? That would be the worst. And it gets inside your head. Your own mind games are what get you. Because it can be. It can always be that place you didn't check.
Yep, every time.
That's why Randomizer is excellent.
So now Alucard coming through. Taking down those mimics. About to get the Cane of Samaria. While Ninban heading into Misery Mire.
So it can be on so we're just looking for the Quake at this point. It can be on the Ether dying. It could be in one of the last item in Mire.
Could be on Sahasrara.
Could be on Sahasrara.
Could be at the pedestal.
Could be at the pedestal. We could find boots. Could be behind, Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb. Not a whole lot else.
Yeah, that's about it. Starting to exhaust all the other options.
Can't be in Pyramid Ferry. We know it's not on Bumper Cave. Death Mountain's been cleared up pretty well.
Yep, full cleared everything in Death Mountain.
So we're at like 4 places.
There's the book for Alucard. Gonna open a couple of more spots.
So, at this point, if you were Alucard, and you only had Vitreous and Helmasaur, the Armos Knights left as far as dungeons that could be completed, would you go ahead and be Helma?
Oh no, there's the Quake medallion.
Oh no.
In the lobby in Mire. Oh no. That's horrible for Alu.
The chest Alu missed. So we're sort of in go mode. Ninban sort of able to beat the game. Probably is. There's a 1 in 22 chance that Ninban needs to find one more item. But beyond that, we're,
yeah,
Ninban's on their way to the last dungeon.
The game.
Like 1 hour and 30 minutes in. For a walking seed, that's not so bad.
No, not at all.
And at the same time, though, having found Flute that late, and, Quake right there, Ice Rod right there, I bet you Ninban is feeling behind. I bet you both runners are feeling behind.
I would be feeling behind.
Oh, yeah. You just keep on pushing until you see that done. For those asking in chat, the Quake was in Mire on the chest in the bridge that you can see through.
I call it the lobby chest.
That's fair. Yeah, that was the one chest that Alu missed when Alucard went there the first time.
Which is just super unfortunate to see.
Yep. We were talking about how you sometimes forget an item, or you flood a key before, and then once you do it 1 or 2 times, you never forget. And you always, whatever steps you need to take, you do it so you don't flood the key. This is one of those moments where I think Alucard is never gonna forget that chest again.
And it's also one of those instances like, oh yeah, if you realize it, well, pretend like that chest doesn't exist. That's what I would do.
Yeah, you gotta pretend it doesn't exist. At this point, we know Alucard's gonna have to go back into Mire.
Luckily, it'll only be a quick play into Mire, and that's pretty much all he's gonna have after he gets done with Eastern.
Yeah, pet check still, medallions, or tablets, I mean.
Oh, yeah, I suppose the book here does open all that up.
Yeah, so there's a few things that take a bunch of time, but, at the moment, there's one major route to go. So we'll see how long it takes Alucard to get there.
And the Silver Arrow takes down Helmasaur, one shot. Another instance of the Silver Arrows trivializing the game.
Yeah, they do what, 100 damage each?
So something like that.
Something like that. Which is why, like, every boss except, Ganon and Vitreous has less than 100 health, which is why if the Silver Arrows do work on them, they work really well. That was funny there. Ninban got knocked back onto the platform and started sliding.
Just bodied a little bit by that Stalfos.
Just a little. Ooh.
Oh no. Those chain chomps. They're mean and they hit like trucks.
Yeah. Not a good time. It's not a good room. It's not a good room in NMG. It's not a good room even when you have blue mail and, bottles and all of the safeties.
It's just not a great room at all.
No. I don't know why Bowser lent Chain Chomps to Ganon, but Probably some like Villains Alliance or something like that.
It's like an exchange program.
Yeah, I mean, are there whiz robes in Mario? Is that what a Magic Koopa is?
I never thought about it that way, but maybe.
Okay. Wonder what the like exchange rate of chain chomps to whiz robes are.
You know, that's a great question. I've never thought about that before at all.
I appreciate your use of the word "great" there. It was kind of you.
I mean, terrible, but great. The vanilla big key for Ninban in Turtle Rock.
It was somewhere. Had to be somewhere. Alucard just finishing up Eastern Palace. As you've mentioned, the Silver Arrow is making quick work of everything.
They're so OP.
They're so
I don't know
OP.
why people don't get them in NMG. I don't know. I do know why.
About a minute and a half time loss. 2 minutes?
Something like that.
Something like that. While we were, you know, gushing over the Silver Arrows, Ninban decided to get a fairy. Tired of dying. Which, you know, makes sense. There's 4 anti-fairies in that room. You can grab 4 if you want.
Alucard coming straight back to Meyer. It's good to see.
So now I guess the big question is he going to get that chest? Or is he going, Vitreous has the item and the medallion. I'll get those, then I'll go check the pedestal.
I would hope he's going to check the lobby chest.
We'll see if he makes for the switch. If he goes left at the top of this hallway.
Oh, nope. Going straight to Vidi. The chest is supposed to be there. You can see where it... Alright.
It's not good. It's not good. So, he's either totally just said that's not a chest that exists, or I guess maybe after Vidi doesn't drop an item, right?
Right.
So, okay. I have to get another one.
Meanwhile, Ninban getting a little turned around in the maze.
It's a confusing room. Oh, Ninban found red mail at some point. That's
it was
nice.
in the big chest there in Turtle Rock. It's when
yes.
Ninban unlocked Coward %. According to the uncle, anyway.
What is the uncle now? The uncle, like, is lying in some water in an underground tunnel? That's not good.
Maybe if he had the red mail, he would have been happier.
That's what I'm saying.
There's that cape. We can go get that heart container now.
That's good. You know.
Oh, well, and there is go mode 100% for Ninban.
I think I called the last chest on Laser Bridge for the boots.
That's where they were.
That's where it was for me last week.
That chest having all sorts of good things all the time.
This game, man.
Alu taking down Vitreous, getting the green pendant and a key.
And a green... Yeah, the green pendant, though. That's 2 items.
You just have to hope he goes back in.
No.
Alu, no.
No, Alu. Please.
Go back. The green pendant isn't going to have anything for you. And with that, Ninban has defeated Trinex.
We're on our way in.
Got the map. But most importantly, that 7th and final crystal. While Sahasrara only has a broken piece of heart for Alucard.
We might get a blind pull.
It looks like we are.
See some of you throwing out numbers in chat. Many of you know what time it is. There are between 1 and 22 item locations in Ganon's Tower. It's a fun little game that people play. You don't win anything, but bragging rights. And bragging rights are the most important rights. That's what this whole tournament is about.
Yeah.
But yeah, guess a number between 1 and 22. See if you'll get it right.
And we are getting the blind pull from Alucard. And it's just 3 bombs.
Ooh.
I was kind of hoping it would be bombos. Just for the lulls.
Yeah, that would be the biggest taunt. So I guess, as you say, you know, hoping for bombos, Alucard is going to check bombos. And then at this point, it's...
Oh no, Ninban! Ninban getting grabbed by the Wallmaster.
going left.
Yep, we're not going that way anymore.
There are so many times in routing, it's just, oh, I died? Cool, I'm done with this dungeon for now.
We're gonna forget those chests exist.
Yeah, I'll come back later. I died. Clearly the items are everywhere else.
So that's 6.
So Clifford, knowing you, yours is Bob's chest, right?
Oh.
Yeah, and mine is always chest 7, regardless of where that is.
Well, we just passed it.
You're right. So I lost.
Sorry, buddy.
That's okay. I could have lied and said it was later, but, you know.
Well, there it is. Number 8.
Ninban didn't get the bombs on the torch, so technically that's 7. No, I'm kidding. That's what it's gonna say in the credits, but... So we got Alu.
Oh well.
Alu's going to
Credits
check
wrong.
ether.
Then he's gonna be very confused.
Yeah.
At least I would be very confused in this situation.
That's when you once you start seeing the double checks. That's when you know someone's having a bad time.
Just some 50 rupees.
Slashes of rage. Ooh. Alucard knows. Yep.
Yep, going straight back in.
Is Ninban heading into the gauntlet through that first room?
Quick work of the Stalfos room, which is one of the more annoying ones.
Yep. They just kind of walk everywhere, jump away from your sword, getting shot by Beamos. Good time. Whoever thought to put those Beamoses in were like, they did an excellent dungeon design job.
Definitely.
They are aggravating. Some nice fire rod strats there. Alu making his way. This is where if we had Alu's cards audio, you know, this is where we would have to mute it. This is the Star Wars Darth Vader, no. Just
Well, now Alucard is in go mode.
145. It's pretty good for checking literally everywhere else.
Yeah, not bad at all for a hundo.
Yeah.
Nice quick work of the first torch room for Ninban.
No despawn in Ganon's tower.
It's the most important part about the climb.
Yeah, not how you execute the gauntlet. You know, you can get through that, you know, with fairies and have one heart left. But if you don't get to the top without despawning, then, well, you get to do it all again.
It's never fun having to climb the thing again for the dumbest of reasons.
Yeah. For those of you confused what we're talking about, if you walk up these stairs to that room with the 4 torches that you got a fire rod, and the little sparkies, at the exact moment the door closes from that room you were just in, the rest of Ganon's tower despawns, all the enemies disappear, so you can't kill Moldorm. Even if you can hover, Aghanim despawns.
You're just trapped.
You're just trapped. You gotta mirror back, start it all again. So Alucard's entering Total Rock. Ninban's on fight number 2 for Aghanim. Skipping the first one, of course.
Well, it's a double there, so that's 3 hits so far. And another double. A nice Aga 2 fight.
Yeah, just needing the one anyways on that last one.
We will very quickly be into the Ganon fight. Gonna take 12 hits in each of the first 2 phases, then 4, and then 4 silver arrows to finish the fight.
There are some really cool strategies for Ganon that you can do. You know, using sword spins, and because that acts as a butter sword. Ninban getting the double hit there on the trident. It was a pretty good phase 1.
Nice phase 2 also so far.
Yep. I don't know if he got enough hits. Nope. Almost, though. Ninban's got red mail. Ninban doesn't need health.
On into phase 3. Alucard having a lot easier time there in that chomper.
Did we find the arrows in Death Mountain? What does it feel like, Ganon?
It was fairly easy to find compared to some of the other things. And with that, the pig is dead. We have some fanfare. And Ninban is finished with an official SR TV time of 1:49:34. Spam those emotes in Wild's chat.
Actually, that's probably one of the most fitting things for a seed that Alucard is in.
It really is.
for those confused by what that means, this is in reference to Wild Anaconda 69. So spam those emotes in Wild Anaconda 69's chat. Lana Bean posting that Wild's emote. Looks like we're joined by Ninban. Ninban, GG.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Exactly what Clifford said.
That seed made us go everywhere. I mean, beating Modular for Ether to go in Mire and all that.
Yeah, we were worried that you were gonna get, stuck a little behind because you abandoned Skull Woods before. Totally reasonable too, given the equipment you had. But Fire Rod early, you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna do the back.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it because it was such a time commitment for just one item. But then I began to run out of place to find the flute. Because at one point, I had not gone to Death Mountain yet, and I just had some isolated locations like Ice Hot Cave, Pyramid, and Skullwoods boss. So I went to Death Mountain and I continued the seed. Then I got the lamp on Dark World Death Mountain at some point. And now I was like, oh, so now I know the flute is in one of those trap locations.
Yeah, you found the flute pretty late. I guess when you did, what was it? What were the thoughts going through your mind when you found the flute?
That it was required.
Yes,
Well,
of course.
Well, I did a bunch of stuff while looking for the flute, like the blacksmith quest and desert food layer. So I was also looking for the quake and ice hod, and the more I did places, the more I was like, yeah, the flute is required, and it's in one of those locations that are so far away.
Yeah, that's fair. Tough to walk around for a while. Alucard got the flutes, what, as one of the first dark. I think it was a high cave right up to Pyramid.
Oh, nice.
But Alucard got stuck on the quake.
Oh, yeah, that was a bad location for quake, especially after having to beat Motsula.
He went into Mire the first time and skipped the chest it was in completely. Then went back and killed Vitreous and skipped it again. And only on the third dip of Mire did he actually get it.
That hurts. I feel for him.
Yeah, it was unfortunate to see.
So, how did you like both vanilla medallions on Mire and Turtle Rock?
It was pretty funny to see.
It's always nice when you get that. It's always nice, even though when you get a split of medallions. But yeah, the vanilla ones are always the best. So we're just watching Alu finish up Trinex here.
So for the first, I don't know, 8 minutes of the game, you guys were almost in complete sync. For the entire escape, you were in the same room, if not on just exactly the same spot in the rooms. It was pretty great to watch.
Wow, nice. And I remember I took a lot of useless damage in escape, so I was wondering if I was going behind. But that's fun.
So how about those boots, eh?
Hey, those boots, so nice.
Just right where you want to see them.
Yeah, right where I want to see them. And I was, let's say, I wasn't really thinking, it was just muscle memory doing all the laser bridge. So eventually I could have gone away after getting the key. I still got that one last chest and I was very happy. And situations like big key on torch are bad.
Yes. Know all about that, huh?
I was also glad about that hand that grabbed me in the right side, because
Yeah.
ultimately it made me go faster.
It did.
I was like, no, not that way. Go back.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. It's one of those situations, like, if you have a death in a certain dungeon, you're like, cool, I'm not going back there.
Those chests don't exist anymore.
Yeah, I guess your summary in 2 words, Ninban. How would you describe this seed?
2 words. That's not enough.
All right, you can have 3. 3 words.
Let me think. I'm not good at thinking after having a seat.
That's totally fair.
I have some words, but they are not PG-13, so I won't say them.
Fair enough. We'll leave it at that then.
Yeah, just leave it at that. Not PG-13. That's my 3 words.
Sounds
Like
good.
I like that.
It's not seed is fine.
Nope.
All right, now Alu, check in that right side. Didn't find the big key, as we already know, but won't be long. Getting some small keys. Oh, I'm getting a little trolled by those Stalfos. Just jumping everywhere. Like it's a House of Pain song.
Are you saying they got up, and got down?
Yes,
Okay.
most definitely. I am saying that. They were jumping around.
Jump around. I get it. Alucard grabbing the big key. Chest number 12 for Alu.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
And into the gauntlet. Well, in a moment. Some lovely strats in the mimic room. So these 2 rooms are kind of tough to master. Even with the, silver arrows.
Yeah, the BMOS in the second one can really mess with your day.
BMOS can mess with anyone's day. It's never a good time with BMOS. Ooh, Alucard just going straight for it.
Stopped a
great.
little bit, but almost
no.
had it.
Almost had it. The other strat that I am quite fond of is walk in, walk off the edge, and then just dash across.
That is another good strat. Oh, having a lot more success with those Stalfos.
Yeah.
They didn't get the boombox out.
Good gauntlet, though, so far. Making the way through. Last room of the gauntlet. Good call on the powder. So we saw both runners use the powder in that room, but as soon as you walk into that room with the, I guess, bunny beam, the timer starts on this room, which causes the pattern for the Limolas to start. So you might walk in if you take too long, and all 3 are ready to jump out and ruin your day.
You did a good job there of mitigating it. Just barely missed the 1 cycle.
Oh yeah, totally.
Those
Great
silver arrows
language.
melting things, as if I hadn't said enough about how great they are.
Clifford, I'm beginning to believe that you like the silver arrows.
They just make things so fast.
That is the whole point. I'm starting to see it how you do.
But they like the game. Come on, guys.
Yeah, but you don't need them in every situation. But when they're good, they're really good.
I agree. I was glad to have them.
I think everything in the land of Hyrule is actually a werewolf. And that's why the silver arrows do so much damage.
I never thought about it like that.
So, Ganon is now a pig, werewolf, bat,
The werebore.
a wereboar.
Those things exist, right?
Yeah. And I assume a vampire, right? Like that's how it turns into a bat. Actually, that
That's-
does explain a lot. Nice Molern too. Well done.
It's the green ruby.
Oh, that was a green rupee.
Yes,
That I
yes,
tend
it
to
was.
have.
It's good.
Actually worse than vanilla.
It's one more rupee for the retirement fund. Link may not have to work another day in his life after this whole event now.
And I hope after rescuing the princess, he doesn't have to work for another day.
I'm not sure if that was a double or not from Alu. I can't tell if they both hit at the same time.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the problems when you hit. Ooh, not even throwing the beam. Having a tough Aga 2 so far.
I think he's on 5.
Splitting the difference.
There he goes. Down goes Agatu. And now Alucard is about to come into this vampire wereboar fight thing.
Actually, the whole vampire thing is proven by the fact that you need to have the torches lit in order to hurt the wereboar. This has
All right,
gotten way too convoluted.
I'll go with it. We'll just go with it.
Yeah, let's go with it. Why not?
Into phase 2 now. Keep.
It's a good choice.
And quickly into phase 3. Good use of that cape and half magic. The laser bridge paying out.
Absolutely.
Yes, the arrows were found. Thanks for telling us where they are.
Well, Clifford, after you were, gushing over them this entire run, Ganon's just wanted to make sure,
Yeah, and that is it. The 4th of the silver arrows takes down Ganon.
Absolutely. Ganon may be trying to take over the world, but Ganon's not a monster.
Not anymore. Now he's dead.
So Alucard finishing with a speedracing.tv time of 2:04:51. GG's to Alucard.
We'll see if we can get him in here for an interview also.
Joining us now, we've got Alucard2004. Alucard, GG's.
Mistakes were made. GG's.
GG.
GG, Ninban. That was a really nice time for all the craziness.
Yeah, it was definitely a crazy seed. I hate to ask this, but I think you know what question is coming. When you missed the chest the first time, was it forgetting? Was it there's no chance it'll be in here? What
Well, I was certainly feeling behind, so I went for the Meyer play, because I felt like I found Mirror fairly late, which led to everything in the world, like, literally. So, I kind of was just like, you know, let's go for Meyer, let's make the play. I've actually forgotten that chest multiple times, in the past, so I'm not, like, as upset, but I'm still kind of upset because I've like told myself over and over not to miss that one. But I was keeping track of the item count in the dungeon, and when Vitreous didn't drop an item, I was like, this might have happened because I've done it before.
Well, that is unfortunate. So you had the choice, it's that point, it's, oh god, it's that chest. Do I go for the back in, or do I just do the pedestal at this point?
Well, at that point, I was like, I guess I got the item. I guess I'll go check these other things, because I can check these other things. And maybe it's fine. You know, like, I'll come back here if I have literally no other option. I was like, maybe I just mistook the item count. And so for a while, I was like, okay, I guess we're done with Meyer. And then we'll do these, I think there are only 4 locations left. It was just Pedestal, the 2 tablets, and Sahasrara.
Yeah, absolutely. Slim pickings at that point, but
Yeah.
it started off pretty strong seed though. Dark World
Yeah,
Access,
it was a good seed. I actually like that seed quite a bit, and I think had I picked up Quake the first time in, this could have been a pretty close race, because I could have just pieced out a pod the moment I got that red cane, because pod was definitely on my mind most of the time, especially after getting the bow.
Yeah, I mean that's totally reasonable. Pendant pod is a weird place in this version. It's either a gold mine or just a waste of time, totally.
And that's why I was kind of putting it off. I was like, "Meh." And it was fine because we kind of needed both Red Cane and Quake to get into Turtle Rock, so it didn't really matter too much. But then finding Red Cane, I was like, oh, I guess I can go back to Meyer. I feel really behind. Might as well just go make the play and just pull this pedestal. Yeah, we found Book in here, but I might as well just kill Vitreous. I thought there was an item at Vitreous. Obviously, there was this Sahasrara item. And then Pedestal opened up, so I was like, alright, let's just go for it. But yeah, I was praying that Ether was required, like, the whole game, and it was. I just screwed it up, I guess.
Yeah, and that happens, such is the nature of Rando. I do hate to say, up until you left that chest, you were ahead, because Ninban took, I think, 1 hour and 25 minutes to activate the flute.
Oh, wow.
So Ninban did make the Dark Death Mountain play, which led to a whole bunch of stuff. After finding the mirror in Eastern, it led to the lamp eventually, which means, flute is required in some way, but was not able to find it for a while. But yeah, all in all, it was very close. even at that moment where you left Meyer, there was still it was still ambiguous who was going to win. This Ninban still had to find the flute, find Quake, and yeah, you
Ice
were
Rod.
Ice Rod too. Yeah, I mean we knew they were generally in the same area, so kind of once you found one, you found the other.
I definitely
Yeah.
felt like that flute was an advantage because I definitely wasn't expecting anyone to route towards Pyramid early, and so I was just like, we have access to Dark World early. I'm gonna do some like kind of out of the way things, see if they pay off. And I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. We have the flute, but then a lot of Dark World stuff kind of opened up, so it felt like that was really the play. But Eastern was apparently the play.
Yeah, and that's a tough one now. I guess Ninban kind of did the same thing where, no bow means I don't want to go to Eastern. That's kind of, I guess that's one of the plays of the meta these days, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I almost did the same, except I didn't go to Pyramid, so I did pretty much all the Dark World. Then I went Eastern Pod.
Wow.
Right, yeah.
So I guess yeah, we were kind of neck and neck.
Yeah, neck and neck, different ways. I guess it ended up being the same go mode item, but before that was very, you guys needed different things at different times. It was close race to watch, and it was very hard to say who was ahead at any given time, even when crystal counts fluctuated. So it was a great race to watch. So well done, guys. Definitely
Had a
GGs.
blast talking over it.
Thank you guys for commentating.
Yeah, thank you. And I had a
Truly my
blast playing
pleasure.
it. I had a blast playing this as well.
Yeah, it was actually a really fun seed because it was so open.
Yeah, my goal was to have different go mode items for each of you, and we were almost there.
It probably should have happened, but it didn't.
Yeah, we were very, very close. Yeah, again, it's one of those things of rando that happen, right?
Yeah, it certainly does.
But I guess we're just watching your stats roll by now. 0 deaths, good, well executed seed.
You executed the chain chomp room much better than Ninban did the first time.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
Things started falling apart at the end of Ganon's tower, but I thought overall the execution was all right.
No, it was a great race. Definitely one of, pretty good. You guys are definitely matched up pretty well in skill. It could have been anyone's race, and definitely was going to be for. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you to our tracker, Usme, Synac, sorry, our restreamer. Thank you again to our runners. Clifford, thank you for doing commentary with me.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was a blast, as always.
Any final thoughts from our runners before we wrap up? Ninban, you move on to 3-0. Alucard, you're 2-1. Plenty of tournament left for you guys.
There are very scary people in both of these brackets, not brackets, but matchups, I think. So yeah, good. I wish good luck to Alucard to join me in the brackets.
Yeah, best of luck getting to that bracket stage, and thank you. Yeah, I'm just excited about the tournament in general. This is an awesome tournament. I really like this randomized swords mode. It's actually really cool, the standard mode.
Yeah, I agree. It made me love Standard again after I fell in love with Open in the fall tournament.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely a nice change. Yeah, if you guys watching enjoyed what you saw, Alucard2004, Ninban, give them a follow, watch their future races. They'll be back, for the tournament next week, and I'm sure practicing throughout. Yeah, that's been an awesome race. Clifford, take us home.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody for racing and tracking and restreaming, and most importantly, thanks to everybody out there watching. Because without you guys, there wouldn't be anybody to race for. So, thanks for tuning in. If you want to see more Randomizer, be sure to follow Speed Gaming 1 through 6, and a link to the past Randomizer, and a link to the past Randomizer 2 through 4. We've got Rando going almost all the time right now. Will be for the next several weeks. Then the brackets will happen, and then there'll be even more Rando. So keep your eyes out. And thanks for watching. I've been Clifford. For everybody else here, have a great night.